All right, guys, we're out of our element here with Chef Paul. But I tell you, one thing that we love doing is focusing on talent and, things in West Virginia. Local, we support local as much as we can. So Chef Paul is the 2024 James Beard Best of Southeastern. He's the best chef in the southeastern part of the U.S. So he got that award in Chicago. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. He's going to tell us a little bit about his background, his history, and the restaurants that he's running now. So we're here live at 1010 Restaurant on 1010 Bridge Road. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks.
You look like you've got that heat machine right there.
I do.
It's funny. We've got I do a cooking demo down at the Capital Market, and we have a DJ EJ that comes and
yes,
he's amazing.
He's in our
he's got like all the things.
He's in our B&I group.
Oh,
yes,
he is fantastic. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah,
you just tell him what the vibe you want, and it's hilarious.
He's good.
He really is good.
That's great.
I know when he's there, I'm in the right spot.
That's great.
All right, I think we're ready. Yep.
This episode of Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Apparition Scents, an outdoor and sporting goods company based in Billings, Pennsylvania. All of their scents developed and hand-bottled with strict attention being paid to every detail. Contact them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com. 100% lethal or your money back guaranteed. Get a hold of them today at 724-998-7646 or check them out at apparitionscents.com. Folks, welcome to another live podcast segment here on the Limb Podcast. Man, I tell you, we're here at 1010 Bridge Road, located at 1010 Bridge Road, Charleston, West Virginia. Not only do we support local businesses, but we want to do this as much as possible when it comes to recognizing local entrepreneurs for their achievements and things that they're doing in the community, West Virginia, and on the national level. The Appalachian Range is rich in heritage, whether it's with food, hunting, music, coal mines, and individuals making it on the national level.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you haven't noticed, I'm in studio
I
tonight.
know, we got Dan in studio. I'm so glad he came in for this.
Yeah, we kind of planned this around me.
We did. We sure did. Dan works out of town a lot, so we wanted to make sure that he was here for it.
So, we have a historic West Virginia joining us on the show this evening. He has a passion for Appalachian food, music, and stories. We will hear from him in just a minute. First, be sure to check out episode 109 of Cook Shout for our Wild Flavor segment. It's out now on all major networks. And be sure to head over to our Spotify, Apple Podcast, or Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcast to listen to all other episodes we have streaming currently.
Yep. And don't forget about our codes.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about the codes. Check out outdoorgrowshop.com and use podcast 10 and get a discount from them. We also got apparitionscents.com. Use code ONTHELIMB and naturesvoicegamecalls.com. We got podcast 15 at checkout. All these great places. You can get great discounts, great products.
Yeah, the Apparition Centers actually does 20%.
Is it 20 now?
They do the biggest discount out there. So if you're listening tonight and you're hungry,
yeah, see, we're
get on there and you've got some discounts.
We own the show. We don't even get 15. Come on now.
Oh, no, he hooks us up.
Yeah, he does. He's a good guy.
So our special guest this evening is the 2024 James Beard Best Chef in the Southeast Region. Owner of 1010 Bridge Road Restaurant, The Pitch, Ellen's Ice Cream, which is located in Charleston. And it's 2023-2025. I didn't really get that when I looked the address up, but it's on Capitol Street. If you're on Capitol Street, it's right across from Pies and Pints.
You'll know.
Oh, yeah.
You'll know where it is.
I stopped there recently. No, not recently. I guess it was a couple months back.
Yeah. So
It was really good.
they recently was placed 9th in the U.S. The USA Today Reader's Choice Best Ice Cream Shop category.
No,
So that's another national.
getting all kinds
Yeah,
of
it's been a good year.
Yes.
It's been a good year.
I tell you.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's welcome Chef Paul, the 2024 James Beard Best Chef of Southeast winner. How you doing?
I'm great.
Man, it's been a long time since we reconnected and seen each other.
It has been.
I mean, we were there at the University of Charleston. I was there longer than you, but you were there, what, 4 years?
I was there 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, it felt like 4.
Yeah.
It felt like 7.
I
Restaurant years are, chef years are like dog years.
Yeah, I got you. I recently seen that you've done one of those drive-around things with the president of the University of Charleston.
Yeah,
So, tell us about that.
that was amazing. Marty Roth is absolutely fantastic. It was really fun. He really thinks outside. And I think that, to have a president of a university that the students can identify with, that, he comes in here all the time. He's always got great ideas. He's just doing great things for UC and for Charleston and for West Virginia.
So you didn't work under his tenure, neither did I. We were working under Dr. Welch.
Right.
So is that the first time you met Mr. Roth?
I am actually on the board of trustees.
Oh, nice.
So I kind of came full circle.
That's good.
From employee to board member. But no, we met here, and he is just a wonderful. He and his wife are both
So
actually.
you still have a play in some of the food business.
Some I have
good.
a big hand. Part of what I love and part of what I stand for is this rising tide.
Yes.
Really raising the bar, but also really working together with other chefs, with other restaurants, not only in Charleston, but throughout the whole state, and trying to raise all of our boats. If all of us are a little bit in the water, then it just keeps going.
Yeah, this episode.
Can he say that again? Can he say that again? I was trying. I was trying to take a picture.
This isn't the remix.
I was trying to take a picture and I dropped my phone.
This Chef Paul remix right here.
We got it.
Yeah.
Dave is on the board.
Dave, I tell you what it was, buddy.
We was talking about the DJ and that's what got him.
That's right. We were talking about EJ, and he's like, I'm going to do this.
I feel terrible.
I'm going to bring it back.
So, Chef Paul, you've worked all around the world. You've worked for Ritz-Carlton Resort in Naples, in Florida, the world-renowned Biltmore Estates in Asheville, North Carolina, the Windsor Club in Vero Beach, Florida, and you formerly trained there at New York's prestigious Culinary Institute of America, and you graduated there with honors. And the CIA's Greenstone campus in Napa Valley, California, where you studied pastries and wine and graduated with Valley Employee Awards.
It's funny. It's just, all of that sounds. I look really good on paper, and I also look really good after you have a couple cocktails.
I'm telling you, you're about as professional as you can get with your look here.
Well, hey,
I love it.
I didn't have this on until about 5 minutes before you walked in. I actually have my Fife Brewing T-shirt on back there because it's about 120 degrees. You guys are here. I got to bring my A game.
Guarantee it.
We don't we're B-level at best.
I'll bring my C plus.
So we did win an award.
Yeah.
I mean, we did win a state award, so that we can call ourselves an award-winning podcast.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, that's.
We're both award-winning.
I thought, man, this is working out perfect.
That's why we do that.
I'm glad you did.
His is a little more prestigious.
But his is a lot more prestigious.
Just a smidge.
On the national level, so see, we were just on the state level.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere.
Hey, that's right. Right?
Okay, so let's get on to
Speaking on that award.
talking points. Go ahead.
Yeah, speaking on that, how does it feel to be the first in the state to receive this prestigious award?
Man, it's such an honor.
I'm sure.
It really is. It's an honor. It's, it definitely, it takes a village. I'm so fortunate to be able to work not only just in 1010, but at the Pitch and at Ellen's and all of the restaurants, I get to learn every day. I get to rub elbows with some of the best in the business. But I'll tell you, I would have never thought that I would even be in a run. You know, you think about the Southeast, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. You think about those cities, I mean, Nashville, Charlotte, Atlanta, Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah. These are these are food towns in tourism cities. And to have West Virginia, you know, I think I said it in my acceptance speech. The first time the two words West Virginia were ever said in that setting.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
It was awesome.
I was watching it live, and I was like, man, look how. I think the word today with the youth is like dapper. Is that where it is? And you're like really fly looking. I was like, man, shit.
I think Dapper's like 45, 50 years ago. Yeah.
Dapper was
I'll go with Dapper.
Yeah, okay.
fire. Say fire.
Maybe fire. Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, okay, you were fire.
I think one of my
All shined up with the bow tie and everything.
One of my young guys back there said it was clean.
Oh, there you go.
And I was like, oh, okay, good. That's good.
That's when we got to call Trevor. Yeah, we have to what words
Come
we
on.
need for this.
Yes. But half the time I'll say something they're like, no, you shouldn't use that. You're too old for that word.
That's my kind of word.
Yeah, right. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, see, I go with Dapper. I think back to the old era, you know, Dapper Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the 20s.
Yeah.
Not that far back.
Yeah, I don't have the big square suits.
Yeah.
With
So since you've won that award, what all has transpired? I mean, you've been extremely busy. I mean, the schedule has just elevated like crazy.
It has. You know, we're you guys are here.
Yeah.
So I've arrived.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know, I mean, this is pretty much it.
Well, you know, I was like kind of, I was like, I don't really know if we were going to be able to get Chef Paul on or not. I was like, you know, I've known him for a long time, but he's in a different category right now.
Well, you know, that's what I got to make sure, you know, we have to support each other.
Yes.
We have to support West Virginia, you know, just because, you know, it's funny, because people say, well, you're going to leave West Virginia? I'm like, no, I'm not going to leave West Virginia. I moved back here to be here. You know, my country really brought me back to try to make a difference. And I think that's the beautiful thing about West Virginia. Just like what you guys are doing, we're making a difference every day. When you guys are, you know, you're educating, you're spreading the love around, and that's what we're doing every day. And I love being back here. I was in some great places, you know, like you said, I was in Napa Valley, I was in Asheville, I was in Naples, I was in Europe. But nothing ever felt like home. And I was missing the mountains, I was missing the people, you know, I was missing West Virginia. And I have gotten busier, but I'm trying to stay grounded, I'm trying to just cook one meal at a time, and one experience at a time. You know, I did, the governor, you know, gave me the distinguished award. That was, I mean, what an honor. You know, and Senator Manchin sent me the flag that was flying in D.C. that day that I was.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Wow. And they presented it to me during my cooking class at the Capitol Market, and I had to take a moment.
Oh, sure.
That's the beautiful thing about West Virginia. You know, we have access. And our politicians, you know, Senator Capito, Senator Manchin, whatever side you're on, it doesn't matter to me. They're really good people, and they're really good representatives of our state, and they support us. I mean, Senator, you know, they live right down the street. Senator Capito walks up here, and she's like gives you a big hug, and you know, that's what this is about to me. It's not about the culinary Oscars. It's not about the accolades. It's not about the shine that I'm getting right now. It's about supporting West Virginia.
And the relationships that you make along the way. You
friends
can
like us, you know what I mean? And it really, West Virginia should have more to cheer for all the time.
Oh yeah,
It's a great place to live. I think the secret's out. It's getting out. You know, I think tourism, we really have to lean into on, you know, with Secretary Ruby, really putting some money behind us, you know, whether it's hunting, whether it's fishing, whether it's, you know, adventure tourism, going down the river, or hiking, or skiing, or culinary tourism. We have some of the best chefs that I've ever worked with and ever seen and ever been a part of here in West Virginia. And I'm happy to, since the Olympics right now, I'm happy to carry the torch. I'm going to use that analogy.
There you go.
I'm
Awesome.
doing it.
That's fitting for sure. Yeah. All right, so we're going to take a break real quick and hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back with Chef Paul. This episode
So we got about 30
seconds.
seconds.
Game Calls is brought to you by Water Choice.
So what we do, we'll do a salute to Valor when we come back in.
Okay.
We salute veterans.
Okay. Yeah.
So this one here is a memorial.
Well, this will be perfect because I'd like to talk about Patriot Gardens a little bit, who we buy from, who was started by the National Guard. So that'd be a good segue.
Yeah, that'll work perfect.
Yeah. And General Hoyer started it, and now, General Crane, and I literally, they call me and say, this is what we got, and I say, send it. Because, again, I'm just from the student. They're people say,
That's awesome.
In the automotive industry.
and they're all
Contact them
good.
today. 304-610-86. Or check them out at Trucks and Fire, West Virginia. All right, guys, so we're back. 1010 Bridge Road Restaurant here at 1010 Bridge Road, Charleston, West Virginia, with the 2024 James Beard Award winner, Chef Paul Smith. And Dan is going to do our salute to
Yeah,
Valor.
absolutely. So tonight we're going to do a memorial.
There you go with the remix again.
It's the DJ theme.
It's just the vibe here, I guess.
That's what it is.
Absolutely. So tonight we're going to remember Charles Marlin French. He was born November 27, 1950, and he passed on June 5th, 2022. He served in the Air Force, was a high clearance electrical technician. He served in Vietnam and was discharged from the service in 1972.
Just he was also, you start there.
Okay, he was, okay, yeah, you typed it. Sketchy, Mike.
That was a copy and paste.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Greg's the one that sent it out.
I got you. He was also one of the original 7 Kentucky members to go to Rolling Thunder from Kentucky and did over 1,000 PGR missions.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's which Patriot Guard right?
Yes, it is.
That's what that stands for. Getting that out there for people that don't know. And the Bridge Rally, he organized the Bridge Rally in Grayson, Kentucky, which is in the So after his career, he seems like he did a lot for the military.
Just supporting his fellow soldiers.
Yeah.
The ones that pass. That's a memorial thing that they do when somebody that's either serving or has served passes. So that's the Patriot Guard Riders. So, Chef, you had something that you wanted to mention that goes along with this.
I can lead into it, actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
We were talking during the break, and you said you love using West Virginia local farm fresh ingredients for your restaurant dishes. If you could tell us a little bit about that and what you're using, where you get it.
Absolutely. So, we're right here. We're looking at the chalkboard next to us, and that is all of our partners.
Oh, nice.
From Buzz Food Service.
Yeah, I
all
keep
the
looking
way.
at that J.D. Dixon song.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah. That's amazing.
awesome. And that's another great feather in our cap. But one of our partners that I take the most pride in is Patriot Gardens. So it was started by the National Guard. General Hoyer, General Crane, Mel, and Brad, and it takes either our deployed guards, persons, families, or themselves, and they keep their hands from being idle by agriculture. So what they do is, if their husbands or wives are deployed, they ask the families to, their produce when they come back. It also helps them, number one, to combat PTSD. Number two, to feel, like they're accomplished. Number three, it is, what they do and the produce that they grow is absolutely amazing.
Man, that's awesome.
that they call, they're like, hey, this is what we got, this is what we have. And I said, just send it on.
Yeah.
Because,
I'm going to use it no matter what.
I think about it on a larger scale. I just did a podcast with General Hoyer.
Yeah.
He's retired and absolutely fantastic. General Crane is a good personal friend of mine. We do a ton for them. I'm just they're making sure that my restaurant is safe. They're making sure that all of us are safe. So it's literally the least I can do to support them.
No, that's
I'm so proud.
And, we can incorporate you into the outdoors as well if you really think about it. So, if you go and look at some of the stuff on our menu, you've got Grant butter.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's a West Virginia favorite.
That's one of the things that when I was talking about it, thinking that on having Chef One, I was like, we can incorporate this very well.
Oh, absolutely. That's
all the local products and produce that he uses.
Yeah, I don't go out. Sometimes I go out and food, but I'm not that farm-to-table guy that's going to go out and dig my own ranch or whatever. But we bought 500 pounds of ranch.
Oh, my God.
So it's just, if you think about...
I can eat that.
Don't come around.
That's right.
Yeah, don't come around. At least for like a month.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
But I think when you talk about what we do, you talk about the hot things that chefs do. You think about, the things that are right up here. You think about canning, you think about fermenting, you think about pickling. These types of things were always done by, the people that taught me how to cook. My grandparents, their parents. It's what we do. It's what we do in Appalachia. Why there's still, the schools are closed during the Thanksgiving holidays. It's because this is what we needed to do. We need to grow our produce. We needed to figure out how we can use it all year round out of necessity. We needed to hunt and make sure that we had enough meat. And now chefs are kind of, playing. There's Renee Redzepi and all these big time chefs are like, oh, I'm fermenting this and I'm doing this, and I'm like, yeah. So my grandmother did that and taught me how to do it, 30 years ago. So I absolutely love being back in this. I think we have one of the most biodiverse growing areas around. We are the only landlocked Appalachian state.
Right.
And, some of our rams go to New York City and Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
For sure.
The diggers that we get it from are literally driving up there and killing it. And our terroir or our, soil, it really grows the best, most tender ramps. You think about pawpaws. We do pawpaw ice cream at the shop. Creme brulee here. You think about all of these local ingredients. When you talk about lamb, it has the ram butter right on top.
Yeah, no, that's what sold me on that. That's what we have this evening.
So, where I'm classically French trained, so I can drown stuff in butter and and sauce.
Yeah.
But when I went to Napa Valley and growing up here, I saw exactly what I wanted to do, and that's where we all have this moment where things just click in your career. You're like, hey, I got bay trees and I got all these things right here. If I just put a little J.Q. Dickinson salt and pepper on it and let the ingredient be the ingredient.
Right.
That's all that I got to do. And when in doubt, put a little ranch on the side of West Virginia, or maybe wrap it in bacon. Right?
There you go. Wrap it in bacon.
That's it. That's
You love doing a West Virginia patty it's wrapped in bacon.
That's right. See, I'm not a culinary genius. I just won this big award from serving ranch. And you put a little ramp on the ranch and you wrap it in bacon, and everybody's like, holy crap, this guy can cook.
There you go. I love it.
Oh man, I tell you, I've had some of your amazing foods, and here at 1010, I've had them at UC, and it's just, when we came here, me and my wife came here for our anniversary the first time, and I was talking about, I was like, I've had some of the things that we're eating right now that he fixed at UC, but one of the things that you can do here, like you're saying with the local, you get to pick that up. No, you don't get to do that with the bigger corporations and other places.
No,
so
you're right.
you've set yourself in the perfect place.
Yeah, and I also worked for BuzzFeed
Yes.
for 8 years,
Yep.
and so I really dived into the protein industry.
That's where you went when you left New
That
Zealand.
is,
Yep.
yeah. And one of my best friends and one of the smartest guys I know, Dickinson Gould, took his family-owned business and took it to the next level. And he was like, hey, we need a corporate shop on board. We want to, kind of get away from, not get away from, because Buzzbutter steaks are always going to be there. That was a Friday night thing for us.
Yeah.
It was either Friday night Buzzbutter steaks or the sit-down Pizza Hut. With playing Gallagher, and having the red cups. And, so I learned so much, and I think that's where this Rising Tide food really came from. I was talking with Dickinson, and he had moved back from DC, I had moved back from Florida. We're talking about the experiences that we had in other areas, and we're like, hey, if we all work together, West Virginia can really, it's always great. Yeah. But we always have this negative, people have this negative conversation of what they're going to get.
I think that's turning.
You're 100% right. Yeah,
Really
it really is. And because all of us are doing it, and that's the beautiful thing about West Virginia is one person with a great team around them, with great people around them. We're not scared to surround ourselves with better people than we are. We can make a difference, and that's what we're all doing.
Look what Mike's done. He surrounded himself
with great people.
And then he surrounds himself with great people, does the remix. And
he does the remix without even us.
This guy knows.
I'm telling you, Dave's on point over there.
Oh, that's it. Right on cue. He's like, well, where do you want to go?
We can do it. Whatever you want, we can do it.
And when in doubt, hit one of those lit up buttons over there. That's what it is. I'm not ready to reach over there. Hit the red button.
Let's Chef hit a button.
See if it ejects him. See if it ejects him from the seat.
Now give him a turkey call.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. So the 1010 restaurant here on Bridge Road has the logo of a beet. Tell us the story behind the beet.
Honestly, so my partner Aaron and I, who we started it, it's funny because we walked up to the restaurant and he's like, man, what are we going to call it? I said, it says right on the door, 1010. He's like, what? I said, I'm not the smartest guy. I'm like, it's 1010. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Because it's the address.
Yep.
And then I was thinking about something, an ingredient that was personal. And also that looked good. And I think beets are something that you can use in a savory application, you can use in a sweet application. It really can be versatile. On our land dish, we use it as a sauce. On a salad, we slice it up and use it as a salad. On our, we're doing a raw scallop crudo. We're roasting the beets and we're shingling it with sliced raw scallops. And it kind of, it is sweet, but also tastes a little bit like dirt. So you've got that earthiness. I won't say dirt, I'll say earthiness.
Earthiness,
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
See, that's great because I had a bunch. I actually had about 4 or 5 beets today for lunch.
Yeah.
Pickled beets.
I love beets.
I see them in the fridge. I'm like,
that's too.
And they're good for you.
They are really good for you. They really are. And so I thought, and it also, kind of pops on the shirt. Our colors are basically gray and purple, which is the beet color. There's also so many different kinds. So, it's, again, we were thinking about a culture. We're thinking about doing something different. And really, I grew up in this business. I've been doing this. I learned from my grandfather, basically from the time I could walk. And all through my career, it was hard. People yell and scream and threw shit at me. And literally it was so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make a clean, safe working environment. And we put 3 or 4 of our cooks through culinary school. We're investing in them. We're investing in education. And again, we're investing in West Virginia. And what that breeds is, number 1, loyalty. Number 2, it makes them feel proud. We put all of our servers tips on their paychecks. So it also, what the kids call it forces us to reflect. Okay, they're budgeting, they're able to buy a house, they're able to buy cars. And I'm also trying to dispel what people think about the restaurant industry as a stepping stone.
Oh, yeah.
And put myself through this or that.
Yeah.
You know, these guys here, this is career.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they do very well. And we're excited. Now, I'm not lost, but we kind of call this restaurant. Because this doesn't happen. We've literally been open. We opened in
4 years.
4 years. We opened in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I sold my house.
Yeah.
I moved in with my parents at 45
Lived in the
years old.
basement.
Lived in the basement.
Wow.
Like 2 or 3 times out of that.
Wow.
But, you know, I sacrificed because I was like, hey, I got X amount of money in equity in my house. How long could this global pandemic last?
Yeah.
I got payroll for 6 months, but I think too, what we do as business owners is we sacrifice for it. And also during COVID, it really taught us how to control the environment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it was small, it was safe. We had to make sure that everybody felt comfortable. We also were reservation only, so we just kind of kept it going. And like now we're doing 100, 120, 130 people a night, and we're still reservation, not necessarily only. We still, our prices aren't super high. But it's fine dining with access.
But I'll tell you, it's hard to get a reservation. We reserved our 6 seats that we have here, I think, 2.5 months ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I want to make sure we can get that.
And you're at the bar.
Yeah, and we're at the best place in the restaurant, really.
Well, it's great, you know, and we really take pride in that experience. You know, you know, I look at it like the house. You are coming into my home. I'm going to greet you warmly. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk about, you know, what makes you guys tick, and really get to know each other. And then I walk through the door and say, hey, coming down. It was great to meet you. And so it's
Well, I mean, the whole experience so far, all the staff have been phenomenal.
Amazing.
Very, very welcoming.
Very
I'm
professional.
so fortunate because, you know, this is also what we have taught.
Sure.
It is
I mean, your bartender told us that he had a whole videography set in his car if we needed help.
Oh,
He was actually talking about hiring him to replace the day.
I mean, he pretty much is the man.
I don't know if he can do a remix, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Dave might have solidified his place.
That's it.
Us tonight with his
You guys,
Yes, indispensable. You know, it's
are
like,
you hiring?
absolutely. Come on back. I'll put you to work.
That's great.
100%.
I'll watch this.
Let me mention one more thing. So he's talking about how he's dealing with employees here, sending them to culinary art school and things like that. So it's really an extension of the education, the whole sector.
Yeah.
You're kind of reaching out there and not getting the things that they would get in the regular education system.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
Investing in
you're
them.
you're investing in them.
But I also talk about we have to be the smartest people in the room because this is our room.
Yeah.
So they've got to know the wine, they've got to know the beer, they've got to know what food, what the allergens are, how it's cooked, and then the best compliment that I think that anybody has ever given me is my team when they're out in the general public, people treat them like because we have really worked very hard to be the best at what we do, just like you guys. They treat them with respect. And I think a lot of times in the restaurant industry, we were kind of, I wouldn't say subservient, but now, of course, chefs are kind of rock stars now. We weren't when I started, but like I love it because I'm watching my team flex. They're out there, they're walking a little taller, they are proud to work. And they're proud, and I'm proud to work with them.
And that's an awesome thing. I love it. It just wraps itself around the whole Appalachian culture, which I think
It's about community.
it's about
And one of our pillars here is supporting our community, and it was never more evident that it was reciprocated with the watch party.
Yes.
The watch party had 800 people show up to watch me, maybe lose.
Yeah.
Not
And
lose.
that was all at the
because
Capital
we're
Market.
there. It was all at the Capital Market, and I will say, the win was wonderful. It was wonderful for our city. It was wonderful for our state. I had a beautiful time, and I literally, other hungry cries. Got back to my hotel room, and I laid down.
I guarantee you.
And Evan Osborne from the Capital Market sent me the video, and I was like bawling.
Oh, yeah.
So he goes, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Look at this."
I mean, people were going crazy. It was like a Super Bowl party.
But my buddy, who's literally from Cleveland, was like, I haven't been a part of anything like that since Cleveland won. I don't know when the last time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It has been. He was like, so thank you.
Have they ever?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time.
So I was like, this is great. And I want people to feel pride. As much pride. I mean, I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to be West Virginia by birth and choice. And I want people, when they think about West Virginia, we had the table that just left is from Chicago. We have so many people that's coming through here now from out of town.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, growing up here, when they said, like, I said, I'm from Charleston, West Virginia. They're like, oh yeah, we've driven through there. You have to do the capital, right?
Yeah.
But they didn't stop.
Yeah.
Or they said I had a friend in Richmond.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was
And I was
always
like, yeah, we kind of been a state for 150 years, but I'll let that one slide.
Western Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? That's
I love it
cool.
when they do
Yeah.
that.
I'm like, I got a friend in Nebraska.
Go ahead, Dan. I'm sorry. I didn't
No,
mean to-
you're good. Absolutely. So, two things, real quick. What's in store for the future, and how? And you talked about you have a couple different places, the pitch and ice cream. How do you devote your time between stuff?
So I'm here.
He's a really good delegate.
I'm actually cloned.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, you're not really talking to Paul. This is Paul too. It's like multiplicity. You know, so what I number one, I trust my team.
Awesome.
So we set the expectations, we set the statement of operating procedures, and then I'll trust them to execute. And then that was the difference between last year and this year. I think last year I kind of had a stranglehold on it, and I was like, oh God, you know, we gotta, we're James Beard, what the heck, you know? And this year, I literally, when we were nominated again, I said, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it together. And when I was talking to the guys at Pitch, and talking to Ellens, it's like 10-10 gets the shine, but it's orange. And so what I do is try to divide my time as much as I can. I'm here. I go work out at 5:30 in the morning. I'm here by 7. I hit the prep. Talk to my prep cooks. I write the lists, and then I go to the pitch on Wednesdays and Sundays. I pop into Ellen's every once in a while. I've got a couple things coming in the future. We're thinking about 2 new concepts. The back booth, Picnic Taco out of Thomas, West Virginia. I don't know if you guys have ever been there. It's absolutely wonderful. So I'm teaming up with them. I'm buying into their business and helping them expand. So we're going to open up hopefully 5 or 10 picnic tacos over the next year throughout the state. I may be opening up maybe not necessarily casual, but a little more family oriented than this. Italian restaurant to honor my grandfather who taught me how to cook. It'll be hopefully called Paulie's Fine Italian.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Paulie, hey, what's up?
That's
so,
great.
You know, leave the gun, take the cannoli, right?
So that leads us right into the next topic.
Yep.
Is how you grew up with your grandfather steering the Sunday sauce.
Steering it. Was he driving that
I
stuff?
was. He was driving something.
So yeah.
So just like a lot of our families, my great grandfather came over to us in Beaumont. Right? That's where the work was, right? And just a lot of our immigrant families, it was food.
Well, that's where the pepperoni roll came
Right,
from.
absolutely.
Yes.
That was out of necessity,
Yeah, out of
right?
necessity.
And now it's blows up. I mean, we've got them on the menu at the pitch and at Ellen's. I grew up here in Charleston, but every weekend we would go to Falls City. So my grandfather and my mom has 4 sisters. My great grandfather is from Boomer. So we would go up to Boomer Hill, and ever since I can remember, food was a part of it. So it smells like pasta, tomato sauce, bread, that buzz. It actually sounds exactly like in the background right now. It's like a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming.
All the family together eating on Sunday.
Absolutely.
Man, I
And so he did. He worked at Alloy, at the plant in Alloy, and then on Friday nights he did Italian night at the Glen Ferris Inn.
No kidding.
Yep. So I literally would stand on the milk crate, and he would pour himself some coffee. I thought coffee was light brown until college. I was like, that ain't coffee. What you do with that? It doesn't smell like Jack Daniels either. So that's where I learned it. And food just is one of those things that smells. It brings you back to family.
It brings people together.
What we're trying to do here is bring people together, leave all the other baggage outside, and just let it float away for an hour or two, enjoy yourselves, and that's it. And now I'm in a great position where I give a little homage to my grandma Joe. I can also help others. If any restaurant, I get phone calls all the time.
You've done a lot of that.
I do a lot. And I get phone calls all the time. They're like, hey, can you look over this or help me with this? And I'll give you the recipes. No, because it's not secrets.
You're like the Chef Ramsay in West Virginia.
Yeah, except for I'm not calling you a dumb dog. Or I will. Well, and it's funny, I met him.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. I met him one day and I'm like, I know guys that'll work for you. I know you're not like, crazy and yelling and screaming all the time, just, in his cool British accent.
Yeah.
So he's good looking and he's all buff. He's like, it's like,
That's
and
exactly
he's like, they pay me a lot of money to yell at people. I'm going to continue to do it. And I'm like, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
She's not wrong.
He's definitely not wrong.
But that's what I'm trying to change in our kitchens and around is that culture.
Love
We're trying to do it and do it right. And, my struggles personally are pretty well documented. And so what we also do is we offer a safe working environment and we get people help too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Chef Paul, it's an amazing pleasure for you to have us.
Thank you. Thanks
here.
for doing this. It's totally my honor.
It's awesome.
And my pleasure.
I mean,
and I've learned how to remix tonight.
You did.
I really feel good.
My man.
I really feel good. I'm constantly learning.
Yes.
Turntables,
You got to keep
remix.
learning. That's for sure. I mean, guys, you got to come check this place out. 1010 Restaurant, 1010 Bridge Road, Charleston, West Virginia.
Call in. Get your reservations on.
Yeah.
Get it now.
Get them out for next year.
Yeah, for next year.
You can get it. It's easier than that. With what we was doing tonight, we definitely wanted to make sure we had the space we needed.
Yeah, and when we pulled up, Dan was like, what time's your reservation for? I was like, 8:45, and he was like, because there was like 10 people standing outside. They were gearing up to come in. But you've got a beautiful place here. You've done an amazing job, and we sure appreciate it.
Thank you, and
Thank you for giving back to West Virginia.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you.
It's 100% mine.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. We sure appreciate it. All right, guys, well, be sure to check this out when it airs there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and all the other major networks. This is going to be a really good one. You don't want to miss it, especially if you're West Virginian. We've got some amazing history here with Chef Paul, talking about that and learning about his lineage and his heritage. So, thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate you watching the live tonight. Make sure you share. And again, we thank Chef Paul and all of his staff here. They were amazing. They were the utmost professional that they could be. So, now we do.
Now you can try that ranch butter, baby.
There you go.
All righty, guys. Thanks. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome.
Sure appreciate it, man.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yeah.
This episode of On the Move.
That was great.
Can we come back there and get a picture with
Thank
you?
you, brother. Yeah. Or I'd come out there.
Either way.
That strives to empower the travel with information to help you go further and
Where you want to do it?
new places.
We can do it back there.
Check them out.
Well, actually, you stay right there, and we'll get right here.
Okay, cool.
Routes is still going.